Hello everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is Search Buzz Video Recap. Today is Friday, April 15th, tax day. If you haven't submitted your taxes, make sure to go ahead and do so if you're in the US. In any event, this week we covered a lot of search news. We started off with the webmasters seeing the Google zombie traffic. John Mueller actually discussed it slightly this morning in a video which I'll cover next week. But basically, these webmasters are either seeing a spike in traffic or their existing traffic lead to a drop in conversions compared to what they're normally seeing, specifically from Google. So imagine you get, 10,000 visits a day from Google, and of those visits, about 5% convert. But all of a sudden, within a period of 12 hours, those visits actually have a zero or very small conversion rate compared to what you're usually used to. And this is what webmasters have been seeing from Google for a while in terms of on and off conversion changes, in terms of their users coming from Google. Kind of like Google sending them irrelevant traffic at a certain point and then sending them more relevant traffic going forward. And this is what they're calling zombie users, zombie traffic from Google, because these users are coming to their website, they act like zombies, they're not doing anything, just roaming around the website, not doing anything, when that's not the typical behavior from their typical Google traffic, where these users that are coming from Google typically will convert, but in these cases they're not. And these are like zombie periods of traffic. And we see a spike in that. Recently we covered it back in October of last year, and people have been talking about it on and off since then, but there was a large spike in conversation around that in the past week or so. So I find that fairly interesting. Also, Google issued mass outbound link penalties for unnatural outbound links. I don't know if you remember, but basically Google issued these over the weekend, and a lot of webmasters received it. It kind of looked like this: outbound link penalty, unnatural outbound links is a manual action. It wasn't an automated action. It was a manual action issued to websites. All they have to do is remove those outbound links, submit a reconsideration request, and Google will once again trust the links on their website. I don't know if the websites were downgraded in terms of their rankings, but Google no longer trusted the links on that website pointing outwards, which they've done to many sites in the past, and that's an outbound link penalty. Google told us later on that outbound link penalty was likely related to bloggers or websites issuing free product reviews in exchange for the products, and Google actually warned us about this about a month ago, saying do not give out links for free without following them unless in exchange for the free product or free service, unless you disclose it and you follow those links. And now Google actually told us, hey, that's what this is all about. So if you did get an unnatural outbound link penalty, it's probably related to any free product reviews you've done recently. Google also has been sending out a recent surge in deceptive download buttons. Google sent basically reposted a blog post that they posted in February on this Google security blog. They posted this blog post just this week, 2 months after they posted it, or several months after they posted on the security blog. They posted on their webmaster blog. I'm like, why? And what happened was, it seems like Google actually recently just started sending out these notifications in the Google Search Console for deceptive sites and social engineering sites. And this is what happens when you actually click on one from Chrome. This is what happens when you do a search for one. They no longer show up in the search results. And the actual warnings were actually go ahead and would actually post in the Google Search Console. So that's why they probably reposted it in the Google Webmaster blog, because there's actually sending out warnings around that. Other news, and I'm waiting for Google to give me a response. I've been waiting for a week already, that Google actually went ahead and dropped in-depth articles from the search results. Moz Features reported this, and Dr. Pete Myers actually said, yeah, he confirmed it. There's a huge drop in the in-depth articles. In-depth articles was launched about a few years ago in 2013. And let me just take a look if anything changed there. But I believe the in-depth articles have been completely removed, and I'm not sure why. It might be a bug. Google yet has responded to me. Yeah, it's still at 0% if you look at the chart, and they're no longer showing the search results. And it might be a bug, but Google again hasn't responded to me as to why they were removed. Google promised, this morning at least, they promised when they do push out Penguin 4.0, which again, we're waiting for, they will announce it. They will post some announcement somewhere announcing that it has begun rolling out, so webmasters know. I believe webmasters will know anyway, but they will definitely confirm it on the record to let us all know when it happens. Google's John Mueller also said, despite being hit by Penguin, you still could start positively ranking from other things. So just because one algorithm knocks you down, other algorithms and signals could bump you back up, John Mueller pretty much said. And this is basically something he said this morning in a Google Hangout. Again, if your site's impacted by one algorithm and one signal, other signals might go ahead and counter that on some level. Of course, what we've seen is that if you're hit by Penguin or Panda, your site is really badly in bad shape, and even the positive signals will have no weight or very little weight in terms of you ranking anywhere that the searchers can actually find you, at least for the competitive keywords. Google's John Mueller went ahead and talked about about 404ing non-existent pages or products that no longer exist, out of stock pages. We actually covered this back a couple years ago in 2014 when Matt Cutsford did a video about it, and he said it depends on the type of site, and we went through that. And John Mueller basically said again, just do what's good for your users, and Google will figure it out. But webmasters don't like to do that. They like to not allow Google to figure it out. They want to control how Google handles that, which I don't blame. Google said they don't really penalize for content in footer links or links in footer links, but they see the content and the links in the footer links as boilerplate, which is what it is, boilerplate content. And because of that, it's not seen as primary content and it's probably weighed less. And again, this is what we know, but Google has actually gone on record saying that this morning. I have a quote from John Mueller and how he actually said it, so you definitely want to take a look at that if you're concerned about any of that. Google also said you can actually mix up the types of mobile-friendly structures you use on your website. So if you have a forum or if you have a blog and there are different subdomains or different sections of your website, you could use responsive for one, you could use dynamic serving for another, and you can use separate URLs like mdots for other ones. Google will see them all as mobile-friendly, and thus it will rank it all fairly well. But I guess you don't want to do it on a page-by-page basis. You probably want to do it on a section-by-section basis. And John Mueller again said that's perfectly okay to do, and Google will figure it out. Google does index and rank title tag attributes in your image tags. And we actually covered the other week that Google said they don't do that, but Dawn Anderson tested it by putting a title element in one of our images, and while it doesn't show up in the web search, it did show up in the image search results. There it is for that keyword. And so Google, even though Google tells us something, you should definitely test it and see for yourself if that's legit. Google My Business app is finally out and available for download. Google fixed the bug that was actually preventing people from using it. Again, new features in that tool in that app is basically the ability to set your special hours, your event hours, as well as some other features like permanently opening and closing the business and so forth right within the app. So that's pretty cool. Google brought gas prices to the local pack, the 3 local pack. So if you do a search for gas or whatever in Google, up comes gas stations, and you probably will get some gas prices directly in the search results, which is nice. That's a nice ad feature. I think Bing has that for a while, but Google now has it. Google also is testing, or actually it's live. It's live. I see it myself. A way to filter your local pack results. So I did a search for La Bella, and up comes these filter buttons, which are new, I believe. And you click on one, it would actually filter the results down to show you those filtered search results items. And finally, on the AdSense side, Google has taken action against something called clickjacking, where they basically, a publisher might go ahead and hide an ad on content. So here's a video of a thing, but somebody might make an invisible ad unit right there, and when somebody clicks to play the button, an ad might pop up. And Google's doing both manual efforts to penalize or remove publishers that are doing this, as well as automated features on programs to actually find this, detect this, and weed it out. In any event, thank you so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com over the past week. Again, today is Friday, April 15th, tax day. Everyone have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next. Bye.